Glyphosate is the world's most used herbicide. The EPA says it's safe. Our next guest disagrees.
I met Jack, I was 17. He had just come from Vietnam, and he was just a prince of a guy. I was so in love with this man. Jack and I saw this old farm, and we fell in love with it. In 1978, we planted those first avocado trees. We had approximately 6 acres, which is hundreds of trees. Jack would pretty much get up in the morning and head out at least 8 hours a day, maybe 12.
The youngest tractor driver in Santa Rosa Creek Road.
He wasn't working on the farm, he was surfing. He was very, very fit. He just liked to be healthy and natural. I remember it like yesterday. He was sitting in bed and he looked at me and he said, "Teri, I have lumps in my neck." He had this big open biopsy done on the lumps, and we waited and waited, and then he started getting so fatigued and so thin. I remember the day that he tried to mow the lawn. He said, "I can't even mow the lawn." They gave him his first chemotherapy treatment, and 2 days later, he called me and said, "Teri, I have 103 temperature." The biopsy site had become very infected as a result of the chemotherapy. And so that meant that he couldn't have the next chemotherapy. I noticed all around the edges of the opening, 2 little tumors were growing. Our son, he said, "Mom, you should go on the internet and look at all the links between non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and Roundup." I thought, oh yeah, right. It was considered safe. I watched him deteriorate before my eyes. Cancer is just such a evil, evil disease. It had spread to his abdomen, and then he suffered a massive stroke. He really tried so hard to open his eyes. He wanted to talk, but he couldn't. I told him he was the best thing that ever happened to me. And that was it. About 2 months after Jack died, I said, "It's interesting that our dog died of cancer too, and he got lumps in his neck, same as Jack." Our dog, Duke, would follow Jack around all day long, every day. And he was exposed to tons of Roundup. And we had to have him put to sleep because he was in so much pain in a very short period of time. I was shocked to see all of the information out there about the link. My God, Jack's been spraying that stuff for 35 years.
Teri is here and is one of many who have filed a lawsuit against Monsanto. She is represented by Brent, who you all have met before. And Teri, separate from our conversation we're having, I just want to say I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Pretty obvious that your husband was a great man and you miss him a great deal. So we're very sorry for that.
Thank you.
You've decided to come forward and share your husband's story. What inspired you to do that?
I think that he died because of exposure to glyphosate, and if he hadn't used it for 35 years, he'd still be alive. And you know, my husband was a very health-conscious person. He didn't believe in using chemicals. He didn't use any other chemicals on our farm. Only Roundup was the only one he ever used because he believed that was safe. And I think that's what killed him. That's what gave him cancer.